What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of La Liga Career Mode. This is episode number 5. We're starting today's episode off in the relegation zone. League's worst defenders with 17 goals conceded in just our first 6 games. Only the 1 win in our first 6, and on the back of 3 straight defeats after our heartbreaking late loss to Real Sociedad in the last game. So it's safe to say it's been a difficult start for Granada, but it's exactly what I was looking for. A real challenge in our first season with a young, inexperienced team. Yeah, I'm liking it. This is why this FIFA has been so fun for me. It's a lot more difficult than in previous versions of FIFA. So heading into the first game of today's episode, Celta Vigo away. 1 point from a possible 12 in our last 4 fixtures and 3 defeats on the bounce. Do you ever load up your PlayStation or your Xbox or your PC to have a FIFA career mode session, and as soon as you turn it on, you think to yourself, I'm going to win. Like, I am going to win, and I am going to end how poorly I've been playing recently. Well, that's exactly how I felt heading into this gaming session here. Taking on Celta Vigo away, 4 games without a win, 1 point from 12, 3 defeats on the bounce. Heading into the game against Celta Vigo, I switched my formation. I went to a 4-4-2. At the moment, I'm alternating between a 4-4-2 and a 4-1-4-1. And Carlos Bacca and Luis Suarez, that strike duo, were in the mood right from the very first whistle. I kept on getting them service, kept on threading balls through, and 29 minutes in, after I hit the post early, then saw one of my shots saved, Luis Suarez was sent forward 1-on-1, and our number 9 puts us in front. And this guy, I mean, I've already said it, if we are going to stay up, have a respectable mid-table finish, it depends on the form and fitness of our number 9. 5 goals in 6 games, and he's been the bright spot to what's otherwise been a really tough beginning to life with Granada. And right from the goal, after Celta Vigo surrendered possession, I thought, stay in attack mode. It's pretty clear we can't defend. No clean sheets so far. I've just got to keep on scoring. And 34 minutes in, well, he's one of the few veterans I've decided to keep for this season. He is going to retire at the end of the campaign as well. Gave him the armband for the night. And Carlos Bacca gets his 2nd of the season. Puts us 2-0 up. Quick fire double. And like I said, heading into this session, I was like, I'm going to win. I am going to get this sorted. Horrendous run of form. It needed to end tonight, and it seemed as though it was going to. But as the second half began, I knew Celta Vigo was going to come at us in the second half and not just expect and accept a defeat, because there's no doubt about it. Losing to this Granada side would be a bit embarrassing for La Liga teams right now, as we're one of the weakest in the division with 17 goals conceded already. Maximiano bailed me out early, but Celta Vigo kept on pressuring. 18 minutes to go, Mendes goes down this right-hand side and beats Alex Centelles. Steps around the left back, finds Suarez, quickly will heel-to-heel flick and beats our number 1 at the near post. And Celta Vigo, half the deficit with 17.5 minutes to go. And I was thinking, okay, alright, they've got the goal. We can't keep clean sheets. I knew the goal was coming at some point. We've just got to see out the remainder of the game. 11 minutes on the clock, and it's all hands on deck. It is all Celta Vigo. And you look at my formation here, and look at how my players are set up. I had so many green shirts behind the ball. I was playing really defensive, inviting pressure. And that's never a good idea against the AI on Ultimate, because they will find a way to break you down. Yeah, poor tactical decision from myself. I decided to switch my system and play really defensive in the late stages. Why would I do that? That's what I'm asking myself on the touchline, because we can't defend. It was such a silly mistake for me to make there. I figured I could close the game out. I couldn't. I should have stayed in attack mode, and as it stood, we were going to throw away our 2nd win of the season. Stoppage time, our final chance fell here with Buñuel off the bench, holding the ball up, taking out Hugo Mayo, rolling it through to Eketeki, and it just about crosses the line, and I went absolutely ballistic at this moment here. Jan Bryce Ataki's 2nd of the season gives us the game winner, and it seemed as though the ball trickled over the line in slow motion, wanted it more, beat the goalkeeper to the ball, bundled over the defender, and it just drops over the line past the flailing arm of the goalkeeper and eventually into the back of the net. Jan Bryce Ataki. We gave him the contract extension in the summer. I said I'm keeping him here, and he's just given us our 2nd win of the season and our first first win on the road as well, and you see what it means. I thought I'd thrown away a 2-goal lead and just my second victory of the season. Ateki said otherwise, wanted it more, beat the goalkeepers of the ball, and it just, and I mean just, trickled over. Like, it seemed like that ball was in slow motion there as it trickled over, but we did get the win. Ateki, the hero, right at the death. 3-2, the final score, and I would have been livid had I not won that game as well, particularly in the first half. It was a game of two halves, really. In the first half, I dominated. I could have been 3 or 4 goals up at the break. In the end, had to get bailed out after I surrendered a 2-goal lead, but you know I'm going to take it. No wins in 4, and that winless run is ended away in Vigo. Yeah, big victory puts us up to 13th place in the table, 7 points on the board now. We're still the worst defenders with 19 goals conceded in 7, but crucially, doesn't matter how you do it so long as you do it. We got the win, and we are now out of the drop zone. So awful long way to go, of course, taking absolutely nothing for granted. Great to get our first away day victory, but listen, man, I mean, I was tuning up and I almost threw away the 3 points there. I've got to be realistic. There's a long way to go, and I've got to start stringing results together if I am going to have a mid-table finish this year. So, following the late victory from Ateki, we had a scouting update. I put 2 left wing backs from Spain in my academy. Could be alright for the future, but as I often say, you can't really judge how good a youth player is going to be after 1 or 2 months of scouting. Unless they've got super potential, it's unlikely you'll be able to determine for sure how good they're going to be after such a limited amount of time scouting them. I always say the best thing to do is when you find a player in your youth scouting, if it does seem as though his range is really high and his potential is really high, it's worth taking a gamble and picking him up straight away. But otherwise, if you're a little bit unsure, if you've got a little bit of doubt, I'd say wait. Wait, give it 2 or 3 months, because occasionally a player will get picked up by another team, but it is quite rare. I would gamble personally. I would wait and see how he looks after 3 or 4 months worth of scouting minimum. At the moment though, no players from Portugal have made our academy. Bit of a shame. Hopefully that will change as the season goes on. Anyway, for the second game of today's episode, Julian Lopetegui, Sevilla, this year finishing in 4th place, so heading into the Champions League for next season. Speaking of Portuguese players, well, it was our number 1 who conceded an early penalty for Sevilla. Had no complaints either. Tripped his man, definite spot kick, no doubt about it, and a penalty for Sevilla. Rakitic stands up to take it, and the Croatian sends our number 1 the wrong way. I hope in future versions of FIFA, when you do bring a goalkeeper out with a triangle button, there's a way or a button combination of some kind where you can ask your goalkeeper not to go to ground and just close the man down, put the pressure on, but stay on his feet. Because if he's inside the area and you hold down a triangle button like I did for Maximiano there, as soon as the ball is close to his feet, he'll go to ground and dive in the lunge at the feet of the attacker. And as I often say, the AI and Ultimate, their footwork is so good, their agility is so good. If they get round you, and it's the reason why I don't put many tackles in my own area, they'll win a penalty. It's as simple as that. Suarez puts us back on level terms right from kickoff. Another Sugawara to Suarez link up there. That's the 3rd time this season already. Our new right back and our number 9 are linked up. But yeah, I don't know whether you can maybe like double tap triangle like repeatedly so the goalkeeper closes the angle down but stays on his feet, doesn't go to ground. Because again, if you hold down the triangle button, the goalkeeper will always go to ground if the ball's in his own area and try and smother his body at the feet of the attacker. And against the AI and Ultimate, that's asking for trouble with the footwork they've got. But even so, Maximiano gave it a penalty. Sevilla converted it. We were back on level terms courtesy of our number 9. And Sugawara in the first half was once again showing his creative ability. This guy is already our top assist maker since coming in, and he got the hockey assist for our 2nd goal as Suarez once again gets another. It was a great ball through to Montoro, the vet, and the captain offloads to our number 9, and the comeback is completed in Granada from a goal down to 2-1 up, and it's courtesy of that man once again, Luis Suarez. He's too good, man. He is too good. 18 minutes to go in the game after Sevilla missed a good chance after the break. We're still leading by a goal. Could we cling on to back-to-back wins for the first time all season long? Well, we should have wrapped it up. 17 minutes to go. Darwin running through 1-on-1 hits the post. Sevilla would clear, but thankfully it didn't matter that we couldn't extend our lead. Final score in Granada, 2-1. It's our 2nd home victory of the season, and for the first time this campaign, back-to-back victories. Absolutely buzzing. There's no doubt about it. We won't have many winning streaks this season. In fact, this might be the only time you see us win back-to-back all campaign long. But it's a massive one. Really, really needed that. 1 point from 12, but now 6 points from 6 in our last 2 games. That's what we need. If we are to stay up, we've got to be more consistent. If we are to be mid-table, we've got to be more consistent. No doubt about that. And that's exactly what we needed. Back-to-back wins, yes, only by a goal each time. Yes, our wait for our first clean sheet continues, but like I mentioned a moment ago, it doesn't matter how we do it so long as we do it. So for our third and final game, staying at home, Atletico Madrid, Diego Simeone's side. The fixtures don't get easier here as we would take on the La Liga champions of last season. Taking them on here, I've got to say, I felt confident. Back-to-back victories, I was playing pretty well in this FIFA session, but unfortunately, whilst we've got a great Luis Suarez of our own, Atletico Madrid have got a great Luis Suarez of their own as well. Yep, not the Colombian, but the Uruguayan Luis Suarez gives Atletico the lead, and this is a brilliant goal as well, and it showed his class here. Ball slipped through to him, watch this, great first touch, but then the second is the best. Turns Catania inside out, dribbles round him, electrifying burst of pace with the acceleration, and it's already his 5th goal in 9 games. Yep, Luis Suarez puts Atletico in front of the Nuevo Estadio de los Camenes, and the Uruguayan gives the visitors the lead. So I was thinking, okay, alright, heading into the game, we were massive underdogs, but we've just won back-to-back for the first time all season long, and there's no doubt about it, we can score goals. There's only been one game all season long where we didn't score, and that was the opening day defeat against Villarreal. So don't panic, don't get too concerned, don't get too flustered. Yes, we're a goal down to a big boy, but we've got the opportunities to get back in this game. And right from kickoff, passing our way forward, Montoro slides it across, and it's a brilliant back heel by Luis Suarez, the Colombian, to find Ateki, who gets his 2nd goal in 3 games and 3rd already this season. We're looking for a long-term captain in this Granada side here because we know Montoro normally wears the armband, if not Rashina, who's been injured, but I think Ateki could be the captain of this team. I really do. He's a really solid holding mid in this team. He's a youngster, 23 years old, but not too young. He's already come up with a clutch game winner for us in the game against Celta Vigo. I really like him as a potential captain in this team for the future, but heading into the break, this was so funny. We were still tied at 1-1, but Atletico found a goal to get in front through Griezmann, and Hermoso was on the floor, lying and screaming in pain, and Atletico were like, hold on bro, we've still got the chance inside the Granada area, so just continue to play on. And I don't know whether I was distracted by Hermoso on the floor, I don't think so, it was just weak defending, but great passing from Atletico. They found a space, the Frenchman put Atletico back in front, and then after the restart in the second half, he bagged his brace. Granada won, Atletico Madrid 3 for sure, they were going to get the win, and late on in the game, looking to get a glimmer of hope, if nothing other than the consolation, Jan Bryce Ateki hits the woodwork, and then a great save by Jan Oblak denies Milia from range. I have to say, how many times have we hit the woodwork recently? It's ridiculous. There's a magnet stuck in that ball, I swear, but no doubt about it. We see the stats here. Yes, we had 11 shots compared to 3, but the XG tells the story, and I'm so glad the XG's in the game because you can see there, it was only slightly higher than Atletico's, really. It came down to it was more clinical. In the end, that was Simeone's side. Our winning run ends after 2 games, and we're back to the familiar feeling of losing. Yep, final score, 3-1 Atletico Madrid. The inconsistent start to the season continues, 9 games in, but listen, come the end of the campaign, I'll take this finish. 11th place, still with the worst defensive record, we're a couple of points off the drop zone, and for now, I'm reasonably satisfied with our response. But that will end today's episode of La Liga Carimo, guys. Big fan of you watching, hope you have enjoyed it. If you had, then please drop a like. Much love to you all, have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode of La Liga Career Mode very soon.